So hello my dear agriculturist and agriculture scientist and forest officers and forest scientists. This is my introductory lecture in this group, first introductory lecture. I am traveling, so just I took this opportunity to talk to you. Agriculture and agricultural sciences and horticultural sciences, I have studied these sciences in my university education, and I have worked as a training officer in Chatral Area Development Project. So I have ample experience theoretically and practically in agriculture and forest. I also remain as forest magistrate. I was dealing with the forestry cases. So I'll be trying to guide you, motivate you, inspire you. This is a very important subject. Let us start from the definition that what is agriculture. So agriculture is the rearing or cultivation of animals, plants, fungi for the sake of food, fiber, biodiesel, medicinal plants. All these things we include in agriculture. Agriculture is not only plants but also animals. Like we have livestock or animal husbandry, so that is also part of agriculture. Many people misconceive agriculture to be only plants or crops. Although agronomy, for example, that is crop science of crops, and we have horticulture or floriculture, in which we study flowers and orchards and ornamental plants and others. That is in horticulture. Similarly, then we come to animals. So in animals we have animal husbandry and livestock management. Then we have veterinary side, which is totally different, that is medicinal. But in agriculture we also have entomology, which is the study of insects. And then we have integrated pest management, in which we study like biochemistry and entomology, chemistry and biology together for pesticides and insecticides. So all these fields are interrelated. Agriculture is the second stage in the human civilization, because the human, they were living in for example in the cave era, they were living in caves, and there was no the food was just only the food available without cultivation. So when we started cultivation, and then we started rearing of animals in more organized way, we had to prepare the soil, and we have to prepare the animals, feed of animals for fiber and food. So then that was we called it agriculture. In integrated agriculture system, that is one of the important concepts that we have seen now here in the developed world as well as in Pakistan. Some people, they call it progressive farming, integrated farming, organic farming, and there are different names. So we must try to understand these modern concepts. So when we talk about integrated agriculture or integrated farming, so that is not only cultivation, that's not only crop rotation or preparing the soil, but in which we take into account all the details. For example, when we have crop, so that crop not at the cost of for example nature or natural resources. We should keep in mind the natural resources, and per acre yield, how can we increase per acre yield. For example, there is a crop, and we can have crop rotation, or we can have placement planting, we, instead of one crop, one seasonal crop, we can have more crops from the same piece of land. So that is integrated agriculture. Then we take into account our environment, the use of pesticides. We should use pesticide or insecticide in such a way that it may not pollute, it may not contaminate the environment. And why not we use integrated pest management, in which we use biological ways, not only chemicals. Like sometimes we are only using chemicals. There was a stage that insecticides were used so much, and it brought a lot of problems, devastation to our environment. So we have to keep in mind all these things. For example, animals, we have to create an environment for animals in which they can grow and they give us more meat or more milk, but not at the cost of environment. And there are some animal rights groups now, and they don't want that we should slaughter animals, or we should slaughter animals in a cruel way. So all these aspects then we study in integrated agriculture. As I told you that in the human civilization history, agriculture was a very, very important stage, and even the people, they produced surplus food, and the food was then so much that it like created civilizations. There were epidemics, and there were times that the people didn't have food. Still today in some parts of the world, like in Africa, you may not find food for the people, but most of the developed countries now, they have surplus food. They have a lot of food, and that food can be used for different purposes. And then we have commerce, international imports and exports. For example, Pakistan is very good in rice, basmati rice. So we are exporting basmati rice to other countries. Sometimes we have to import wheat, but we are a food surplus country. We have food security. This is, some people, they consider Pakistan to be like a failed state, or a state with a lot of problems, but still we don't have problem of hunger, or we don't have problem of food. We are a food secure country because of our canal system, because of our 4 seasons. We have almost availability for all the crops, and we have all the climates. We have in the north very cold kind of climate, and then we have microclimates. In the south we have deserts. So any kind of fruit or crop we can grow. At the same time, we also have access to animal husbandry in different ways, not only in one way but also in other ways. So Pakistan, this was a stage which was agriculture, but now a new stage came, and that was industrial revolution. In that stage, agriculture became like a little sort of redundant, not that much important. But food is still human basic need. This is our physiological need, and we need animals not only for food, but we also need them for our environment, and we need animals for farm yard manure. We need animals for organic farming. So all these modern concepts like trickle irrigation, we should not waste our water. For example, canals in Israel, they have like the world best trickle irrigation system, drip irrigation system. They don't waste the water resources that as we are wasting in our canal system. There is a lot of seepage, and then we have another problem, which is water logging. Water logging is such a huge issue, and erosion, maybe wind erosion, or maybe it is water erosion. So we are losing big chunks of land because of erosion. So these are some of the basic concepts that we will be discussing in agriculture part, the 50 marks that you have, and then you go for forestry, which I will discuss later. I will be keep in touch with you. Agriculture is a very, very interesting subject, because this is about us, and around us we see agriculture, we see farmers, they are cultivating their land. We should keep like interest the way they are doing. Farm mechanization, that is also very important thing, that it has reduced like employment rate. Now people, they have tractors, and they have harvesters, and they have modern technology for agriculture purposes. So this is also very interesting thing to study, that how much farm mechanization do we need. Some people, they are going back to nature. So agriculture scientists, they can give us very good ideas that so much machinery, involvement of machinery, it may also be counterproductive. But we have to chalk out strategies. How can we increase our per acre yield? That is one of the important aspect. So I encourage you people to study this subject, very, very interesting, and we will remain in touch to study other aspects of this. Keep in mind that I am always available. Ask questions, discuss with each other, and write a summary of this lecture. Thank you.